Ayr and welcome to our first match of 2023 here on Borders Rugby Special. And what a match we have for you this afternoon as Melrose welcome Ayr to the Greenyards. Today's result is a crucial must-win for both teams as they vie for that Division 1 top spot. Ayr have 53 points along with current league leaders Kelso, and Melrose are not far behind on 48. However, Melrose need to pick themselves up after that 2-point deduction and that big loss against Gala on Boxing Day. Ayr convincingly beat Stirling last time they played in December, but they've not had a competitive game of rugby for nearly a month now. To take us through today's action, here's Bruce Miller and Dale Clancy.
Good afternoon everyone, welcome to the Greenyards. We're about a minute away from kick-off here in National League Division 1. Ayr out on the paddock, this artificial surface, and the home side Melrose come out now. And the two sides in good form. Ayr suffered an opening day loss to Highland up in Inverness, but they've only lost once since, a 22-21 reverse against league leaders Kelso in November. And they sit tied with Kelso on 53 points at the top of the table, although Ayr have played one game more. Melrose, they lost their two of their opening three fixtures, including a 35-31 loss at Millbrae against today's opponents in round 3, where they've since gone on a 9-game winning streak, including a 16-14 victory over league leaders Kelso, and they now sit 5 points adrift of the leaders. So expect both of these sides to throw the kitchen sink at each other today. This is a game which may well see the losing side locked out of the title race. Neither side can really afford to lose this one, and it's Melrose who will get us underway, and a well-judged kick from a Melrose point of view, ill-judged perhaps by Ayr tight head, Rory Sace. Allowed that one to bounce. It's gone into touch on the stand side of the pitch, midway between the Ayr 22 and 10 metre line. A good throw by Collier, finds his captain Cameron Rees in the middle of the Ayr line out. And back it will come to Ross McCorkindale, sends that one high and long down the stand side touchline. Well judged though by James Brown on the left wing today for Melrose. Quick ball for Colvin at 9, little ball out the back, unexpected, but it's been tidied up there by Stuart Hutchison, and Melrose go wide quickly, and a better pass that would have been good if it found the hands of Makowski. The ball goes loose, ball knocked on by Melrose. First real chance then for Ayr to attack from the scrum out on their left hand touchline, and a little bit lethargic if you like, but carried into contact by Jamie Bova, their experienced inside centre. Now to Rory Anderson, now the outside centre, takes it into contact but dealt with well by Elliot Ruthven. The 7 jersey on for Melrose, and his opposite number seemed to drop that one, Rohan Potty. The referee says play on, and well no, he does come back. It's a clear knock on by the Ayr open side, so Melrose survive. That's a good scrum by Melrose. It turns round to the right, the referee playing advantage, awards the penalty to Melrose, and an easy way to escape from your own zone.
Yeah, definitely. It was an interesting setup on the backs as well, but when you've got a front row with Dobie, McLean and Cruikshank in there, especially in behind they've got the likes of Thomas Brown and McConnell, it's a really, really solid tight five, and flexing their muscles earlier on, because Ayr do have a really capable front row as well. They've got a big burly front row, but Melrose making light work of it.
It's Melrose to throw in on the Ayr 10 metre line, taken cleanly and off the top, whipped away out along that back line. Good hands there, lovely offload, and it's number 8 Rory Lindsay crashing through there, and he finds his fullback David Colvin out in that right corner, scores in the policeman's corner. First blood to Melrose in this one, and lovely light and break by Rory Lindsay. In fact, has that ball been lost?
Yeah, I think the referee is saying it's been held up, because that would have been an excellent try, but the referee just signalling, just seen his arm never went up, and the referee signaling it's been held up. So great cover in defence. I think it was John Fulton, who was one of the players that was across, able to hold David Colvin up, because he was in for what would have been a certain score, but great defensive work from there.
What a line break by Rory Lindsay, the number 8. Come on, a fantastic lick, picked a good line and clean through the middle, found Colvin, but no score. So it's Melrose then in possession though from the goal line dropout, and Colvin just threads that one through. Tidied up by Ayr. Well, no, it's been charged down, and this could work for Townsend. The ball beats him into touch. Look, Townsend on the spot there. And Ayr set up at the front and move to the middle. Melrose get a hand in there, and it comes back on the Melrose side. It's Elliot Ruthven. Crashes into contact So another great attacking opportunity here. It's Callum Cruikshank, tight head prop, takes it into contact now. Round the corner come the forwards. Dobie, the other prop, carries a bit high but makes good ground. A little bit slow ball here for Bruce Colvin. Once again, uses the forwards. 5 metres or so away from that AYR try line now, working their way across towards the posts. The whole of the Melrose side strung away across to the right. And another great line picked there by Melrose, stopped a metre or so short. In fact, they're over that try line this time. The referee's arm does go up. It is a try for the home side. Let's see who has got up last. I think it is James Brown, the left winger, who's gone over in a pile of bodies. He's the man taking the congratulations of his teammates there. It's Melrose 5, AYR 0.
Yeah, I wonder what he was even doing there. I was about to send out a search and rescue party, because the left winger in a cluster of bodies, you expected it to pop up and be a forward there, but the left winger showing a lot of hard work off of his wing and getting himself in the mixer to get on the end of that score. But it is what Melrose deserve after the opening few minutes here. The opening 5 minutes in this game have been all Melrose. They've come out with a lot of intent, and you can see how much it means to them to try and make a real impact in this game to keep on the coattails of Kelso in the league.
So James Brown with the opening try of the afternoon for the home side. David Colvin makes no mistake adding the extras just from the right hand side of the post there, and a healthy 7-0 advantage to the home side. So Melrose with a bit of defending to do now, leading by 7 points to 0. AYR have taken that one cleanly, and they've got their maul from the line out, heading just about in the right direction here. 7 or 8 metres in from the touchline. Melrose have taken that one down, and the referee says legally. Can perhaps hear the shouts from the stand down below us there, congratulating that Melrose side. Managed to kill that one. So Melrose will again look for that solid scrum platform that they had in the earlier scrum. Well, no, the decision has gone the other way. The referee, I think, speaking to Callum Cruikshanks on the right hand side of that Melrose scrum, says he's gone down. Maybe lost his footing. And either way, the ball just given straight back to AYR, and they will just kick this one out. They're 5 metres out from that Melrose try line, so they'll just kick that one out sideways, and once again they've got the line out to attack from. Yeah, and they'll have to try something maybe a little bit different this time, because Melrose certainly look like they're capable of defending a driving maul, and we'll see what happens here. Well, Melrose went up there, so a little bit dangerous. They've managed to, for now, bring that AYR maul to a halt. We'll now get some go forward. The referee playing an advantage. Can they get themselves over that try line? They're certainly very close. Up goes the referee's arm, awards the try to AYR, and AYR have responded 2 or 3 minutes after that opening Melrose try. It's Melrose 7, AYR 5. And it's Stuart Collier, the hooker, with the try. And you know, how many times do we see it that a team kick to the corner, the hooker just latches on in the back of that maul and just drives it forward, and he was in the right place. Also, John Fulton came into the maul, just had a little bit more weight, a little bit more pressure to that attacking play, and AYR reply straight away, and they get a bit of pressure and they take their opportunity when it counts in the corner, and Bova's got the chance to try and add the extras. It's a big solid traditional looking inside centre, certainly catches that one nicely. Well, they always had the distance, absolutely hammered that and clean through the middle of the uprights. A good conversion, it's all square, 7 apiece. It's McCorkindale, their scrum half, who essentially got his side disposition with that clearing kick, and he feeds it out into the midfield. Jamie Bova had to wait on that one, and a bit of a muddle. Eventually goes out the back to Jack Anderson, his fly half. It was quite what AYR had in mind, and Pete McCallum with an injection of pace and power there, just about evading the clutches of, it was Elliot Ruthven again making the tackle, but still AYR in possession outside that Melrose 22. Bring play back across towards the stand side again. A nice flat pass by Bova, and finds John Fulton on the right wing today for AYR. Still just outside the Melrose 22. Back again from McCorkindale. This time it's Rory Sace carries into contact. That Melrose defence looking solid. Come up as a line, nice flat pass again, but couldn't be taken under pressure by Michael Kirk there. Knock on by the big number 6 out in the midfield. So just over 20 minutes played here at the Green Yard. Still 7 points apiece. Melrose to throw into the line out. And, well, fingertip stuff from Elliot Ruthven there. It does come back on the Melrose side. He couldn't take it cleanly. In come the hands there from Michael Kirk. The big AYR blindside does great work. The referee was going to award the penalty, but instead just allows him to play on. Ball turnover, however, thrown out into the midfield, picked off by Luke Townsend, who goes in under the posts And the try is awarded by the referee. Ayr hands on heads, I think wondering how the advantage was over there. And you can see McCorkindale going over to have a word with the referee, but the referee will not be persuaded now. He's awarded the try to Melrose. Luke Townsend with the interception. It's Melrose 12, Ayr 7.
It'll be brilliant to hear that conversation back between the referee and the Ayr players, because he's just explained exactly why he awarded that. I thought there was a penalty, I thought there was an advantage there, and the referee, Cubitt, did look to the touchline to try and maybe look for some support from an assistant referee, but obviously at this level you do not get the support from an AYR. We don't have them at National 1, so it was a try, and it was brilliantly read by Luke Townsend there, and grasping his opportunity at 12 as well. Obviously Mitch Richardson's been 12, he's been an absolute revelation for Melrose, off to pastures new, and Luke Townsend grasping his opportunity there, and he just watched that flight of the ball, grabbed it, and then he had open Prairie to run into and got the score.
So it's Ayr with an attacking scrum, almost centre field, 4 players away off to the left, 2 to the right, but they pick and go right, an 8-9. And then they've got the full-back and the winger down this stand-side touchline, but dealt with well. It was Scott Watson that had made the break, but he was dragged down, recycled by Ayr. And in goes McCorkindale. He's playing through the forwards here. Ayr reset on the right-hand side and the short side, but again go out into the midfield. Smothering tackle made there by one of the Melrose players. Play just inside that Melrose 22, and back to the right hand side now come Ayr. Short line by Cameron Rees, keeping things tight to the breakdown. Round the corner again come the forwards. Caleb Ray, he's got Rowan Potty with him. Instead away they go to the left, and that's good play by Ayr through the hands this time. Take play just 5 metres or so in from the other touch line. And come Melrose again just to try and disrupt the breakdown, but still Ayr in possession. Melrose doing their best just to keep them at bay here, but the referee playing advantage once more. Thrown rather untidily out from the breakdown, but tidied up by Michael Kirk. And the Melrose defence strung along their own 22. Again, Jamie Bova getting hands on the ball out to Scott Watson. And he's got John Fulton with him. He doesn't use him, and he's dragged down 5 metres short of that Melrose try line. Pick and go round the corner this time by Seth Ray in the second row. And then there's the other second row. Nice little tip on to Caleb Ray. Ayr 3 or 4 metres short now of that Melrose try line. Melrose 14, Ayr 7. And that crossfield kick this time, there's nobody at home there for Melrose. If this can be gathered by Ayr, they will go over. Fantastic take, plucked from the air there, I think by Kieran Wood, the left winger for Ayr. Melrose just run out of numbers, couldn't quite get anybody across there, and Kieran Wood rose and took the kick, sent across by his scrum half Ross McCorkindale. He's been very good putting boot to ball this afternoon, and it's Ayr once again with the reply, their second try of the afternoon. Melrose 14, Ayr 12.
Penalty advantage came, and it was great awareness from McCorkindale to see that they had acres of space in the top corner here at the green yards, and he just put a great crossfield kick from the outside of the boot to his winger Kieran Wood, who managed to jump higher than the covering defence, grab it and go in for a score.
That's a tricky conversion for Bova. Again, he gives that one absolutely everything. He's certainly I think he could kick them for absolutely anywhere on the field, but that's 2 from fairly tricky positions to the side, and that levels the score once more, 14-all. Ben McLean to throw into the line out. Once again just outside that Melrose 22, and Thomas Brown once again the target, moving forward, takes that one cleanly, and again Melrose try and just get this drive moving forward. Bruce Colvin got hands on that, he saw a bit of a gap and he went through it, eventually taken down by his opposite number Ross McCorkindale, but quick ball here for Melrose, and Ben McLean once again just sticks his head down and takes play up towards halfway. Colvin out to Hutchison, and into the midfield, a long pass out to right wing Harry Mikowski there by Donald Crawford, and Mikowski takes play just about up to Ayr 22, eventually dragged down, and come the Melrose forwards, counter-ruck by Ayr, but does come back on the Melrose side, and Elliot Ruthven
penalty advantage,
takes the ball into contact. Referee I think saying a high tackle, so playing advantage here, and there's space out on the stand side of the field if Melrose can get it there. Ben McLean out there too. James Brown already with 1 try this afternoon, takes play into the 22 now. Referee though saw an infringement.
No arm wrap. I'm fine with the height. I need you to bind that arm.
Elliot Ruthven, the target this time at the Melrose line out.
That's fine. He's through the middle. Pink is
and about 8 metres or so out from the Ayr try line over in that policeman's corner, so they'll have a go through the forwards first, no doubt, but strung away across to the left if needed. It's still Melrose. Well, they were in possession, but the referee says Ayr have managed to kill that one.
No. From what I've seen, he's taken it down. They're still connected behind the ball. It's a scrum down, pink ball. Okay.
Let's see, Ayr in possession, but Melrose will look to put the pressure on at scrum time. They do just get that drive on, and now a little bit of momentum, but Ayr managed to get that one out. And again, just go to the considerable bulk of Jamie Bova to get them on the front foot, and then they'll just fire this one back to Jack Anderson. It's a good clean connection on that one, finds a touch on the far side of the field, and about 25-26 metres or so out from that Ayr try line.
Ayr, again, being able to just utilise all their experience to slowly but surely creep out of their danger zone, because they were 5 metres out from their own line, defending for their lives, and now all of a sudden they're trying to attack from deep, and Bova's just bounced off his knee. He's going to have to put some pressure back on this, but comes to nothing.
The referee playing an advantage there. It's back on Melrose side of halfway. Well, David Colvin's done a great job bringing the ball forward from full back, takes play back onto the Ayr side of halfway, and there's numbers strung across to the left for Melrose if they can get it there. The Ayr defence panicking a little bit, shouting numbers across, and in behind the forwards they go. Nice flat pass and a nice angle by Ben McLean there. He's got his winger Brown with him, cuts back infield, takes play into the 22, dragged down by McCorkindale, but it's Melrose with quick ball. Colvin out to Hutchison, and straightened by Elliot Ruthven just outside the 22, managed to offload. Nice little flick out the back door there, and oh, if that ball could have been taken over on that far side by Melrose, he still had work to be done. The referee saying that Ayr were offside, so another attacking opportunity for Melrose, but throwing everything at Ayr in the closing stages of this first half. Well, this will be the last action of the half, I'm sure, because Melrose awarded the penalty. They've opted to kick for the posts, so I'm sure they've asked the referee, is time up? David Colvin from right out in front. Up go the flags, makes no mistake with that one. And having said that will be the last action of the half, it's not in fact the last action of the half. The visitors slowly inching their way forward here, but Melrose defence is strung along the 10 metre line, looking solid for now. John Fulton, and a bit of a chance on the stand side of the field. Hear a cry of high tackle there, but the referee says play on. Nice little tip on from Rees to Caleb Ray there, and in come the hands from Melrose. However, the referee saying the tackler not rolling away. So I think perhaps the man that came in and got hands on ball was okay, that the man on the floor was not. And what that has done has given a penalty to Ayr. Now, will they opt for the same as Melrose did and kick for posts and level things? Well, that's exactly what they've done. Well, he's kicked 2 conversions thus far, and probably from harder positions, to be fair. He's 15 metres in from the stand side touchline. On the wrong side for him, a right-footed kicker. And well, again, he had plenty on that one, but this one fades to the left of the uprights, and with that the referee blows for half-time in a very entertaining first half here in National League Division 1. 2 tries apiece, the only difference between the sides, that David Colvin penalty in injury time. It's Melrose 17, Ayr 14. The lights on now, which show up the fact that it's raining fairly heavily. I'm not sure whether that will have an impact on the game or not. It's certainly fairly still, but won't help the handling situation, which it has to be said in the closing 15 minutes of the first half was not brilliant from either side. Ball retention average at best, but that one off the top of the line out for Ayr. So first attacking opportunity for the visitors, a little bit untidy in the midfield. Again, Jamie Bova at the heart of that, looking a little bit unsure who was meant to give that to, and away come Melrose up over halfway. Tackle just short of that Ayr 10 metre line. Solid defence by Rohan Potty there in the number 7 jersey for Ayr this afternoon, but still Melrose in possession just on their side of halfway, out into the midfield, and Donald Crawford managed to get the hands free there and find Harry Makowski, who cuts back in field and takes play to that Ayr 22. Quick ball here for Bruce Colvin, and Thomas Brown offers himself as a runner, a little bit isolated though, and in come the Ayr hands. Let's come back on the Melrose side very slowly though. David Colvin has to go in and play scrum half. Elliot Ruthven this time, once again a willing ball carrier. play inside that Ayr 22 now. Most of the Melrose players strung away to the left. Thomas Brown has to dive in and tidy that one up.
Penalty advantage now, that ball's not out.
Came out a bit scrappily. The referee playing an advantage. And Hutchison tried to put boot to ball. The referee said was playing an advantage to the home side and awards the penalty to Melrose right out in front of the posts. So Melrose again opting to go for the posts. David Colvin from right out in front. Just too easy an opportunity to turn down just outside the 22. And once again, the Melrose fullback makes no mistake with that one as the rain gets heavier here at the Greenyards. As Melrose 20, Ayr 14. Ross McCorkindale calling forwards round the corner here, and they make good ground through Cameron Rees, the captain. And take play a little bit wider up towards the Melrose 22. The referee saying, telling the Melrose players got to release the tackle there. And once again, through the forwards and Morgan Leatherbarrow, who came on as a first half replacement. Ball whipped away there from one half back to the other. Jamie Bova looking for the inside ball there, finds Fulton popping up off his left wing over on that far side.
Penalty advantage, slowing that ball down on the wrong side.
Once again the forwards organising themselves. The little arrowhead shape and Rohan Potty, the smallest of the Ayr forwards, carries that one into contact. Rather sideways there goes Morgan Leatherbarrow, but still Ayr in around that Melrose 22. Make another metre or so and Scott Watson comes racing in from fullback. Thought he was going to have to play scrum half, but Ross McCorkindale pops up. And again Jamie Bova just drops that ball off to his centre partner. Still Ayr 12-14 metres away from that Melrose try line. I'm not seeing too much of Rory Cecil. Gets his hands on the ball, makes another metre or so and plays centre field for Ayr here, and referee playing an advantage. So once again McCorkindale puts boot to ball, and this could well work for them this time. It was Donald Crawford, I think, who won the race there, got up and plucked that ball out of the sky to save his side there. A shot to nothing for McCorkindale. It worked for him in the first half.
First time in this game where I've seen McCorkindale perhaps not pick the right option, going for the glorious crossfield kick again, just not coming off for him there. But Ayr again looking dangerous, good possession, good territory.
Well, Ayr opting to go for the post from right out in front, and Jamie Bova, the easiest kick of the afternoon. Lots of movement in that Melrose line out. Eventually they throw it to the middle and off the top a lot, but untidily. But the hands anything but untidy as they get the ball very quickly out onto their left touch line and takes play up over that Ayr 10 metre line. Tried to up the pace of the game back in field. It's a longer pass there. Jack Dobie hit hard by the Ayr defence, but Melrose now on the attack on that Ayr 10 metre line. Flat pass to Thomas Brown, looks to get the hand free and makes the offload. And centre field options both ways, but again they come to the right and hurried pass through the hands there. Referee says no knock on, so through the legs of Colvin and into the arms of Harry Mikowski. Then goes Bruce Colvin looking for his forwards again and finds Rory Lindsay. Takes play another 2 or 3 metres forward and huge space there. Through goes Ben McLean. He's got players either side, and when he finds Elliot Ruthven at his inside, and the open side flanker dives over. And great interplay there between the Melrose forwards. It's Melrose 25, Ayr 17.
Yeah, there's two great bits of play there. Both times it was, there was Colvin's involved. The great little tip-on pass from David Colvin over in the banking side here at the Greenyards. Just went through the fingertips, managed to release his winger, scampers up the touchline, and when he came back he went through the legs as well. But the experience of Bruce Colvin there, just spotting that there was a gap on the blind side, he managed to carry the ball long enough in his hands to attract all the defenders and just release Ben McLean. And Ben McLean just then had a 2-on-1. Simple option. He actually had a 3-on-1. He had somebody on his outside as well, but went back inside, and it was Elliot Ruthven there in support. And I think if there's a man on that pitch that deserves a try so far, I would say Ruthven. He's been brilliant in the first half and industrious in the second here as well. So a great team score with the Colvins at the heart of it.
Yeah, they just seemed to spark into life, Melrose, when they got themselves on the front foot and into the Ayr half there, seemed to lift the pace of the game. It was a wonderful handling initially to get the ball over onto the far side, and then back it came. As you say, there were some nice tip-ons there, there was basketball passes, there was balls through the legs by that man David Colvin, who adds the extras, makes no mistake, and Melrose now have a healthy looking 10 points advantage. The line out just on the stand side of the pitch, 17 metres or so out from the Ayr try line. They've lost Thomas Brown, who's been a good line out option for them, but the again cleanly taken in the middle, back to Ben McLean and the hooker. Comes round as is customary for the hooker at the back there. Another crabbing sideways, get a little bit of go forward, but they've been driven towards the touchline by the visitors. So Ben McLean realises he's got to break away here. Hits his side on the front foot again, and forwards to get themselves back on their feet. Set themselves up in that little arrowhead formation. However, to divert their route and back in to tidy that one up, because it was very slow in coming out. Now they get some go forward there. It's a big Melrose pack when you see them with ball in hand, sorry, so close to the AYR try line, and the AYR defence really up against it here. Round the corner they come again, and AYR trying to put in the big shots here and keep the Melrose attack at bay. Go a little bit wider now, and Hutchison will look outside him, cut back inside, and he's driven back another metre or so. So it's still Melrose in possession. Centre field, a metre or so outside that 5 metre line now though. Again, just trying to get themselves on the front foot, and they'll keep it tight through the forward, especially in these conditions. And just a little bit of fisticuffs there. Jamie Bova getting involved. Will Ferry likewise. It's still Melrose with ball in hand. It's a good line there, and the AYR defence having to really tighten up there to deal with what Melrose throwing. A little inside ball there, maybe being a little bit cleverer than they needed to be. Once again, it's Melrose in possession. You feel, as I say, if they do score here, this could well be the game. The AYR defence, good work. Drive Melrose another metre or so further back, 8 metres or so from that try line now. Once again, just tight through the forwards. You can see Harry Mikowski lurking out on the right touchline. He'll look to get this at some point. Forwards again through Callum Cruikshanks this time, throwing everything they can at that AYR defence, which has been stout so far, and the referee awards the penalty to AYR. Wonderful play by the visitors, and surviving everything that Melrose could throw at them, realising the importance of that situation, and a huge sigh of relief breathed by the visitors as the referee swung round towards their side and awarded the penalty. The centres have switched. Donald Crawford lining up inside centre, Luke Townsend outside. He's certainly got the ball moving forward. Rui Lindsay has the ball at his feet, picks and gives it to his scrum half, and a bit of a loose pass there, but the referee saying, well, in fact the infringement was not at the scrum, it was an early tackle, I think. So Melrose do get their penalty. 27 points to 17 for Melrose, but you imagine a kicker of the quality of David Colvin will make no mistake here, and up once again go the flags. That's Melrose 30, AYR 17. You've got to say that Melrose have got this one in the bag now.
You know, if you look at the game as a whole, like Melrose, in terms of their set piece, their scrum has been a solid foundation. They've kept the tempo high, they've got ball carriers, and they've got folk in the backs that can, you know, throw the ball about. And also in terms of their game management, they've got 3 or 4 players out there that can kick you in any position in the field. They've managed this game really well, but you know, this last 15 minutes is going to be a huge 15 minutes for both teams in terms of their season in National 1.
Picked up by Ruri Lindsay, not the best of passes, a little bit of a no-look attempt to Bruce Colvin, but they took it well, the scrum half, and sent it off downfield. Scott Watson brings play back over halfway for the visitors, and there went Kieran Wood acting as scrum half. Shifts it a little bit further out into the midfield. Wood again coming in as auxiliary scrum half, and then Jamie Bova looked to give the ball to his winger, instead just straightened, but dealt with well by the Melrose defence, who come forward to put pressure on AYR. Still played just on the Melrose side of halfway, and they've found a space down that right flank. Ball back in field here, and AYR should score if they can hold their feet. Ball back inside there to Robbie McLaren off the bench for AYR. Well, they have done exactly what we said they had the ability to do. They've got themselves back into this one. Melrose 30, AYR 22.
This conversion is going to be really important in terms of how they approach the final stages of this game, but we still do have about 11 so minutes left here. Bova's got the conversion attempt to come, but again, just showing how dangerous AYR can be, you know, in open field play, stringing some passes together and utilising their bench as well. That's a couple of replacements coming on there just to make an impact, and Bova splits the Kinlan, adds the extras, and we've got a game on here.
Both these sides still to play, Kelso. Both games will be at Pointer Park.
Okay, let's use it, please.
Advantage Kelso. You would think in those ones, but it's Melrose as the conditions get worse here. Driving rain now. The surface will hold up, 3G, but handling conditions difficult, and Melrose perhaps alive to that as they force AYR back, and that's a good chase there. 4 Melrose players on hand. Pressure on Watson at the back for AYR. It's AYR through Jamie Bova, who just sends that along and then makes the charge down. Bounces clear. Can Colvin tidy things up? Well, he does. It was his kick that was charged down. It manages to rectify the situation. It's Melrose in possession just on their side of halfway, and then Bruce Colvin with his kick charged down. Back goes Stuart Hutchison this time, and ball is all over the place, and Jamie Bova trying his best without an awful lot of support from the rest of the AYR defence to win that. But Melrose eventually get the ball in behind the AYR defence, just rolls into touch on the stand side of the pitch.
He managed just to get just outside the AYR 22 and just turn the tide slightly, get back in a good position because they're starting to look a little bit ropey.
Well, neither replacement hooker covering themselves in glory there as Hutchison goes through the middle. This is from an AYR line out, plays centre field, 10 metres out from the AYR try line. Little break by Bruce Colvin there, just slips off the first tackle. Takes play another metre or so further forward as the troops mass for Melrose. They'll keep things tight once again here.
Stay on your feet, guys.
Colvin again just having a look. This time a little bit slow in arriving. In fact, will take play back to the right for Melrose. Still 5 metres or so out, but AYR defending for their lives here. Now the long pass thrown out to Colvin. He's got a man outside him in the shape of Harry Mikowski, but doesn't use him. Dragged down 6 or 7 metres in from the stand side touchline into the forwards. Again,
good job, ball is there.
Go Melrose. We'll look to keep things tight. It's Ross McConnell still on, starting second row. He's lost his second row partner, Thomas Brown. And the ball lost there by Elliot Ruthven, as Melrose really needed to keep a hold of that one. So it's AYR just a metre or two from their try line, but the referee will play an advantage. Will they try and run it out of there? Well, they will. There's a man out there.
Advantage over!
And it's still AYR in possession, but Melrose just about clinging on to Boothale. Now can AYR do the unthinkable and break from their own try line here? Well, advantage will be over. It's 2 AYR players, and David Colvin back rather on his own there, so just had to hurriedly turn and kick that ball. It's been picked off in the backfield by AYR. Thought of passing there, did McLaughlin, but takes ball into contact on the Melrose 10 metre line, and cries from the stand down below us, I think appealing for a penalty for the home side, but the referee said Melrose player, and I think it was Harry Mikowski, going off his feet, awards the penalty to AYR, and things getting more than a little bit tense here at the Greenyards. Melrose 30, AYR 24. 5 minutes left then in National League Division 1 at the Greenyards, still all to play for. Melrose with a 6 points advantage. Another untidy throw into the line out by AYR. The referee Hubert says play on. It's the visitors in possession, driven back by the Melrose defence, strung across an imaginary line midway between their 22 and 10 metre line. Will not want to give AYR an inch here. And again it's Kieran Wood playing scrum half in the second half. Now Ross McCorkindale gone. It goes a little bit of a shimmy there by Jack Anderson and just sticks his head down, makes a metre or two, takes play towards that 22. Back it comes then to Morgan Leatherbarrow, the headgear on. The first half replacement for the visitors, and Jamie Bova forced to straighten once again as Stuart Hutchison came flying out the line for Melrose. And once more Cameron Rees, a very willing ball carrier, the visiting captain. Ball went loose, but it comes back again on the AYR side. Melrose having to defend for now, keep a hold of that 6 points advantage, and they're driving AYR back towards that 10 metre line, but still in possession. Caleb Ray still on the starting loose head prop, and likewise Sace, the tight head, in there trying to free that ball and win it back. Here just moving the Melrose defence back and forward in the centre of the field. Dave Young on, replacement hooker, and again they go to the right. They've got a numbers advantage I think here, and coming on a good lick there, but unable to keep a hold of the ball. A little bit untidy. I think they sensed half a chance in front of there, that AYR back line, but untidy handling by the visitors, and that ball just thrown into touch. Well, it makes the line out throw difficult as well. And kept it low. You're right, you can see the flag fluttering on the 22 over in that policeman's corner, but AYR have taken that from the line out, and they're going forward at a rate of knots now. And Melrose, well, I think they realised they had to kill that one there, and they came in the side, so the referee playing an advantage. So Jamie Bova once again out the back door, and AYR with free ball carry into the 22. They'll have to take it back to the right. The Ayr forwards a little bit slow to reset themselves. That ball has been knocked on. Loud blast on the whistle from the referee, and it will go back to the first infringement. And it's still Melrose with a 6 points advantage. If they do concede, they'll be hoping, they're trying to make sure it is right over in that corner and ensure that it's a difficult conversion, but they'll not want to concede. First thing here from an Ayr point of view is they have to win this ball from the line out. They do that, and round comes the hooker, Dave Young. The replacement hooker gets his hands on the ball, and in come the Ayr backline. John Fulton gets himself involved there, adds his well, not a huge amount of weight, but enough to get that going forward again, and Ayr just inching towards the Melrose try line. And the Melrose response is good initially, though, stopped Ayr in the track. However, the broken away there, I don't think anybody was expecting that one, and it's Pete McCallum, the Ayr number 8, who has just come from nowhere and plunges over the Melrose try line. It's a 1 point game, conversion still to come from Ayr, and the game could well be all wrapped up in this conversion for Jamie Bova.
Yeah, it could be snatched right at the death, and in a game where Ayr have looked pretty poor for the last 10 minutes. They've looked a better side, but you know, sometimes you just need to get yourselves in these positions to try and snatch victory. Not, as they say, all good teams, you know, they know how to win playing bad. But let's see if Ayr still have it in the tank, and Bova can deal with the pressure here. It's a challenging kick, it's windy, it's wet, it's in between the 15 and the 5, and probably not on his favourite side either, but it's a big kick coming up for Ayr.
Melrose 30, Ayr 29. Jamie Bova with the kick 12 metres or so in from the far touchline. He's having a quick word with the referee. I think we'd be better just concentrating on the task in front of him for now. He certainly catches it cleanly, and up go the flags. The big inside centre makes absolutely no mistake, and the visitors now have a 1 point advantage. Time still left to play here, but Ayr, as things stand, they have a bonus point, certainly. Do they have the game in the bag? Melrose realise that they've got to play quickly, and from the restart, the ball goes loose. The referee says knocked on by Melrose. Has another look at his watch.
You know, the last thing you want to do to Ayr is give the big burly pack the ball to suffocate the clock, and the pressure comes on from the scrum.
Well, Ayr do get that one out quickly. Pete McCallum, Jamie Bova, he's certainly done that job for them well this afternoon. He's not always combined well with the players outside him, but when you need a little bit to go forward, he just sticks his head down and carries hard. It's back to his feet again, and will do it all over again if he has to, but for now it's with the Ayr forwards. They'll be desperate not to make a mistake here, and Melrose, for their part, really have to try and turn this one over, pick their moment to get hands in there, win this ball back again. The referee telling them to get hands off. And the Ayr side will be speaking to the referee all the time, and I think he has indicated that time is up, because Ayr have kicked that one off the side. The referee does blow for full time, and an unlikely win for the visitors. Well, I had them written off 10 minutes ago when they trailed by 13 points. Dale, you rightly said, do not ever write off Ayr, and they did have 14 points in them. They have rescued this game from the death. It's Melrose 30, Ayr 31, 4 tries for Ayr, and Melrose had their opportunities, but unable to add that 4th try, which would have won the game for them. And well, silence around the crowd here at the Greenyards. I can scarcely believe what they've seen there, the Melrose support, but it's the visitors who will go back to Milbrae with all 5 points from this game and keep in touch with Kelso at the top of National League Division 1.
Yeah, look, we knew at the start of the week that Greenyards was a tough place to come. You're not going to come get an easy ride down here, so the boys just talked about what half-time we had to do better in the first half and stepped up and got the job done. There was a couple of momentum changes, as you probably saw out there, and we capitalised when we needed to.
Having the pressure to get that conversion, just to take that lead and just to nip that win, how was that?
I was bricking it, I'm not going to lie. I knew there was 1 point in it if I got it, so hit and hope.
You know, boys after obviously really devastated. Like, we're in it for the full 80, up by 13 at one point, so losing at the end's a big disappointment, but there's loads of positives we can take of that. The boys put such a shift in. We've just got to try to keep our heads down come training next week and really put more shifts in. Oh, training's been good. We've got back to the standards that we had before the Waverley Cup. Maybe lost a bit of momentum that game, and maybe that's reflected today. We knew we were going to be physical and come up front, and they were definitely that, but I felt like we matched that well, and then just comes down to a couple of moments at the end of the game. When you get an intercept, it's always nice. Not really played much 12, so I was in a bit of a wider place, so yeah, I was happy with it. But main thing is the boys, like all 20 people here today, like putting such shifts and everything behind the scenes, so that's the most positive thing.
And you said you've not played much at 12. How does that feel? Obviously, you've got Struan at 10 inside you, and you've also got Donald Crawford outside you. So how did you feel playing inside centre?
Well, I maybe don't enjoy it as much, but it's definitely easier having Struan inside than Donald outside. You know, they can just kind of run the shots and you just stand there. It just makes it a bit of a piece of cake, to be honest, because they do everything on the pitch and you just play a bit. But nah, I quite enjoyed it today. It's my first start I've had at 12 ever, so it was good fun.
And looking at next week, you're away up to Aberdeen, which is a tough place to travel. What you're anticipating for them?
I know it'll be tough, and it's a one bus journey up, so we've just got to keep that momentum, get that momentum back now. So obviously we've lost it in the last couple of weeks. That we've lost twice, so we've got to really go up there and put a big performance out and prove that we're still in the title race.
So after a physical end-to-end game, AYR pipped Melrose at the post 31-30. Not the result that Melrose would have been hoping for, and that perhaps now puts them out of the running for that top spot at the end of the season. Next week we're off to Mansfield Park for Hawick versus Curry. Hope you can join us then, but for now, cheerio.